This is a presentation of WCTV, all volunteer community access television from the Township of Washington.
Hi, I'm Emily Kratzer for WCTV. We're on the road today at Washington Township Public Library, and we're going to tell you all about the programs and catch up with Laura Rifkin, the library director. She's our guest today. We talked with her about a year ago, and she's going to bring us up to speed on what's new, what's happening. Go, Laura.
Hi, Emily. Thank you for having me back again. It's been a really good year so far for the Washington Township Library. When we last spoke, it was my first year here, and we were really kind of taking time to examine the township and what the needs of the township were and meeting the different patrons that utilize the library. And now we're implementing all of these changes, and they're direct changes from what we heard from patrons, from needs that we saw within the community, and it's just 2015 just started out great. We expanded library hours, so now we're open an additional 9 service hours a week, including longer Saturdays, Wednesday evenings. We're including more programming that we saw was a need in the community, everything from college workshops, paying for college, choosing the right college, to fun family events like magicians and Mardi Gras parties and all of this fun stuff.
Yeah, right.
We started off with a new children's librarian, Marie Joyce, who's coming to us from Hasbrook Heights Library and has just a ton of really wonderful ideas and changes that she's going to be making in that department as well. We've started circulating puzzles and games and all these crazy things.
In case the viewers hear noise and craziness behind us, we're actually taping during the children's program that Marie is leading, so it could get a little crazy here. The assortment of things available here has always been good, and it seems to be getting better. The number of people coming in, it seems like there's a lot of traffic through here. You mentioned about the first program that Marie did with the kids. There were 3 people here, and then what happened?
Oh, it boomed. Moms are really talking about it. They're tweeting. They're posting on the Washington Township Mom site. She's gotten a really warm welcome from the community, which is great. And they like the change. They like the new atmosphere in that department, and it's like a breath of fresh air.
Right, and we've got people coming to this library, from toddlers, babes in arms, up to senior citizens doing yoga on Fridays. I mean, one of the yoga ladies is 92 years old, and everybody knows her in town. I, probably shouldn't name names, but everybody knows her in town. And our leader is just fantastic. She leads us through things that are easy to do, keep your flexibility as you age and your sense of balance. It's wonderful. Of course, you've got the mat yoga on Tuesdays.
We have a meditation group now on Thursday nights, so we're helping with that health and well-being kind of atmosphere. And that was really our goal, was to expand programming beyond just story times. Was really to kind of hit all of our demographics and help everyone. This month, next week, we have a lecture on Disney World for parents who are planning trips to Disney World, and it's everything from the history of Disney World to how to get those discounts and free meal plans and stuff like that.
The insider's view.
Yeah, exactly.
The insider's view. And every time I'm in here, I see a lot of people using the computers, connecting through the internet. This has become a real place to connect.
Yes.
Absolutely. And the movies that were on Thursday are now Monday and Thursday.
Monday and Thursday. It was
Yeah.
such a big group that we started expanding it, and it's going really, really well.
Yeah.
It's going really well.
Yeah. Some of the resources, you talked about some of the programs you've added in. I see there's a note here for the Teen Advisory Board
Yes.
for teenagers who want to help guide and get involved with what's happening here at the library.
Marie is leading that. She's having her first meeting coming up in February, and it's for grades 7 and up, and it's really for those tweens and teens to give input to how they would like to impact the library and their specific department, what books they are reading that they would like to see in the collection, recommendations for programs. A lot of them have to do community service hours at that
Right.
age. So what kind of programs can they design for the younger kids? Do they want to do another teddy bear sleepover at the library and help out with that? They're so creative at that age, and they really do like to connect with the younger kids too. So Marie is really good at facilitating all of that.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. And what I like when I come here, papers, there's always newspapers, there's this Wall Street Journal, New York
Oh, of
Times,
course.
Barron's, there's the community papers, it's just fabulous. And of course, on the table, I've just shown an array of things that people can get here, the books, music, videos, CDs, and movies, whether it's a TV or a movie.
Oh yeah, we have everything.
I noticed this was the Hayden Panettiere here with Nashville. She's from up in Rockland. She came out of Suffern. I know we've got a lot of talented Bergen County people. And one of my favorite comedians, Fluffy. But the puzzles, too. We have the puzzles table. And if people haven't gone to do that, that's just a real hoot to sit over
People
there.
love it. We
Drive
just
you
put a
nuts.
different one. Yeah, we put a different one out every other week or so, and people just all do it as a community effort. And somebody said, why don't you circulate the old ones that we've already done?
Yeah.
So people can take them home. And we thought that was a great idea. So we
Yeah.
just
Can
decided
be
to let-
checked
yeah.
out. Yes.
And they're flying. So it's great.
That's great. Yeah, and then you don't have to have them around your house in your attic and your kids going, what do we do with this now?
Yeah, exactly. We also started just a couple weeks ago. We got a really wonderful donation from Lifesavers Incorporated of 5 different Kindle Paperwhites.
That's excellent.
So the library has preloaded them with 50 titles each, and you can go ahead and start circulating those Kindles and check them out for 2 weeks at a time. And if you finish the book that you were waiting for, there's 49 other titles. You can just go right to it.
That's excellent.
You
And you were very good. You sat down and showed me and another one of our patrons how to use Mango, the language program. And I have to confess, I've been very bad. I want to learn Spanish better. And I just haven't gotten around to it. But there's so many resources online with Zinio.
We have Zinio, which is the magazines. So you can, and that actually, Buckles took over now. We were one of the few libraries that had it last year. Now there's thousands of more titles and editions on Zinio, so it's even bigger
Wow.
collection than it was before.
And we should tell people Zinio is the magazines
Yes.
online. You can just look at it on your screen. Yeah.
And it's nice because you can keep, I think it's up to 10 on there at this point. They keep expanding how many you can have out, but it's great. It's a great resource. So we have Zinio, we have Mango Languages. For the little guys, we just added on Muzzy, which is a BBC Mango type version with foreign language learning. So that's great, and you can access that right from home. We also now have Tumble Books, which is a read-along library, and Bookflix, which is similar. It's a little bit more of a interactive video library, so that's great for the little guys. It seems like every month there's something new coming out. They're estimating that this spring, Buckles is going to come out with Hoopla, which is similar to like a Netflix, but you just use your library card and you can watch and stream,
That sounds great.
DVDs and all of that fun stuff. So we're really getting more and more into this digital age where all the resources are at your fingertips, and the library is here to help you learn what's out there and how to use these different tools.
Connecting up
Yeah.
with what is available, whether it's in print, because I don't like a screen glare all the time, so I like things in print that I can hold in my hand. But this connectedness, the media, it's also the people connecting here. I was talking with one of your staffers earlier, and she said, we have people coming from all over, and then they bring their friends, and this is a place to meet and hang out. And that's just a real compliment to this library, to all libraries, as resource centers, as community places.
Sure, we really wanted people to feel comfortable coming into the library. You know, it's no longer a shh kind of environment. It is that social atmosphere. It's the community center meets the library, you know, and sharing that knowledge and the learning experience with other people. You know, doing the chair yoga, the instructor is a nursing student, you know, so she knows how to teach everybody to do different moves. People come early, and if somebody missed the class, they'll help keep them, you know, up to date with what was happening.
Yeah.
It's really a very caring community here in Washington Township, and we're thrilled that the library has kind of become a hub for everybody to connect in that way.
Indeed. And I've noticed too, there's study time here, there's tutoring, people who do tutoring.
Oh, a lot.
I've noticed that some people come with their laptops, maybe they want to get out of the house for a little while, might feel a little isolated there. They just come here, they can have quiet time, they can do whatever they need to on their laptops with your Wi-Fi.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
we're always kind of trying to keep things up to date and moving along, because for a lot of people, the library is the first location that they learn different things, whether it's Mango languages. We have one-to-one computer lessons that we do with a lot of the seniors who have never written an email before,
Right.
you know, and it's a new experience for them, or have never used a Kindle Paperwhite. And the seniors really love them because you can change everything from the size of the font, gets so much bigger than
Yes.
regular large print
Right,
editions,
right.
to the contrast for people who have some vision problems, dexterity issues with actually holding the book, whereas the Paperwhite is so much lighter.
Yeah.
So the senior community has really loved having them there as well.
Yeah, and we like to think that they're not adaptable, but they really are.
Oh,
And, and those aids are very, very good, very good. Speaking of adaptable, I understand there was a suggestion out in the community that, that we add coffee to the
We
mix.
did.
So this was my little mnemonic to remind people that you can stir up interest in the library. Literally, there's a coffee machine, and people can come and enjoy the coffee and the ambiance.
Yeah.
We're about to have a little traffic behind us. Maybe we should pause at this point and come back. Perhaps we'll talk with Marie in a few minutes.
Sure.
Did you make the points that you had wanted to make?
Yeah, you know, expanded library hours, new children's services, lots of new things going on at the library, wonderful new programs. We really hope people are going to come in and just take a look around. We're happy to give you a tour. We're happy to give you a copy of the programs. Look on the website for new changes. There's lots of exciting stuff going on.
Indeed. And be sure to stop by each month for the monthly sheet and information, and online.
And online.
And online. Laura, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. We'll
Oh,
snag
no
Marie next.
Thank you.
Take care.
My name is Lizzie, and this is Matthew. We live here in town. We just moved here a few months ago. We really enjoy the children's section of the library. There's a lot of board books. We check out books every other week, and we're really excited to have a new librarian here that offers classes for such young children.
Hi, my name is Lisa, and this is Alexander, and we live in town as well, and we like to come for the children's story time. Alexander likes to sing the songs and do the hand movements and listen to the stories, and he loves the wheels on the bus. That's his favorite. And then we look at the books before we leave. So we have a good time, and Alexander, I can tell, enjoys coming here every week.
Here we are. How are you today, sirs? Very well, I thank you. Run away, run away. Good job, everybody. Before we do our story, let's do one more song. How about Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star? Show me some pretty little stars. Pretty little stars. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you are, up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
We're back with new children's librarian Marie Joyce. Not new to the field, but new here in Washington Township. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Marie.
I have been a children's librarian for about almost 20 years now. I've started off in the Brooklyn Public Library system. I've worked in upstate New York in the library system there, and I've been in Bergen County now for a little over 10 years, and I really love it. It's a great system that we have in Bergen County, and I've only been here in Washington Township a week, but I have a lot of different experiences. So
Yeah,
Bring that
and the fun thing about working with kids is, as we all know, You get to play with toys.
Get to play with a lot of toys.
And
A
you
lot
get
of
to
toys.
guide them through, yeah.
Yep.
So on the table here, you see some of our toys that the children were just playing with. Maurice just come from a program with about, how many kids were 20?
18 or 20.
18
yep.
or 20,
Yep.
plus the adults,
adults.
family, parents, to
Grandparents,
grandparents.
yep.
Yeah.
Everybody was in there
Yeah.
having a great time
Yeah.
and playing with toys,
Things
meeting new
pop up.
friends. and- Yep, they
Yay.
love any of these toys, which, believe it or not, they don't necessarily love the ones that blink and make a lot of noise. They kind of like these old-fashioned toys. So.
And one of my favorites is the old
beads,
the
yeah.
beads, getting those
The
to go
roller
over the
coaster,
different-
yeah.
right.
Yep.
And of course, bouncy balls.
Yeah, and they're nice and textured, and so that's interesting to hold, and it's easy for them to grip, and then they can bounce it and kick it, and it doesn't really hurt anybody or
Right,
anything. So they were playing with
exactly.
that, having a great time.
Yeah. So you got these old-fashioned, ever-popular hands-on toys,
Yep.
and look what's on your lap.
On my lap, I have my iPad, which we use in the children's room for story time. Just to, usually I use it to introduce the kids. I got a really fun little holder for it, so the children can actually come up and touch things, and if it falls over or gets knocked over, it doesn't hurt anything. I can actually use it in story time. Most of the time, I would use it just to, like in this app is from a picture book, and actually, look, it still has a little one
Yeah.
that somebody built yesterday.
Yeah.
It has a little make a snowman app, so I let the children come up and take turns, and they add things to the snowman, and then but I also used it has a beautiful story with real animals, real pictures of animals in there, so I thought that was fun for story time. But I always, of course, still use the books and our old-fashioned toys, the flannel board.
The flannel board.
which
This
is my
so
favorite.
great. And the Little Red Hand is just the best
Yeah,
story
yeah,
ever.
and Laura went out and made sure to get me one because I told her I have to have a flannel board. I really love it. The children really respond to it. This is a large book that we would use it for, but occasionally, most of the time, what I use it for, the book is huge, so we need something to hold it up, but usually what I use it for is to bring a story to life, so that it's really much more interactive with the kids. It's not just me reading a book, it's me putting up pieces and having them guess, and this particular story was called The Mitten. It's one of my favorite ones, and I said to them, I was like, imagine you're a little boy and you have a white mitten and you drop it, and this is the snow. It's really hard to see because it's in the snow, and then how these little animals come along and they all move into the mitten, and so we would just talk about each animal and is their room, and then we actually get physical, and we're stretching the mitten, and we're in there, and finally at the end of the story, I don't know if you know this story, but
Yeah.
there's many different versions. In
Yeah.
my version, the little mouse tickles the bear's nose, and he sneezes, and the mitten flies off, and the animals are scattered into the snow, and the children are watching, and it's like they're there. They
Yeah.
can believe that they were there. One little boy was like, I don't like that the mitten exploded, and so it's very funny, it really gets them engaged, and I'd use so many stories on the flannel board, but it also, if you're a good drawer, which I'm not a very artistic person, but I still will draw stories for the children, and you can draw them and have it evolve, and there's one story I tell with this like really scary looking wolf, but he's actually really silly. It's called the Gunny Wolf. And basically that's what I draw. And the kids laugh. They're like, that's a wolf? I said, well, and then we do the little noises that go with the wolf. He says, hunkercha, hunkercha. And then he falls asleep, and we draw his sleepy eye, and he goes, shh. And the kids think it's hilarious. So you don't have to be a great artist to use the flannel board or to use the drawing part of it. It really engages them. Not that they don't love the books. They do love the books, but I try to really keep it active and interactive.
Yeah, well, when we talk about interactive and we talk about children, we're talking about motor coordination, listening, visuals, sparking the imagination.
Exactly.
And that's what all of this does, that the children's librarian does, and that's just a great resource for the community. I understand that the Washington Township moms tweet kind of brought them all out of the woodwork.
Yes, they do. They use their social media, and they talk about what's going on at the library, and it's really nice. I love to know that everybody's talking about it and excited about it, and hopefully, we'll get even more people coming in, and I love to see new people, new families coming into the library, so it's great.
Let's talk a little bit about how resources have changed over the years. There's been a tremendous leap, mainly because of the digital technology. But what sort of things did you used to have that you have changed?
Well, I think it used to be a long time ago that people thought that story times should start for children who are older, that when they're babies they can't really respond to the stories, or it's just playtime, and it really isn't. We spend at least 15 minutes every time the babies come in doing stories and songs with them, And it's amazing to watch from week to week. You know, the first week the babies are, looking around. They don't, what's going on. The second week they're engaged. By the third week, some of them are actually doing the hand motions that go with the songs, or they know what's going to happen. They anticipate and they participate, and it's very amazing to watch, because it's not just their language, it's their social skills that are evolving, and then the social part of it for the parents and the grandparents that are there as well. It's just a wonderful way for the whole community to come together, and it starts as infants.
Right. Well, thank you for letting us see that a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
We do have some footage that we're going to show, and folks get to see Marie in action with the children. Wheels of the bus
wheels
and
on
the
the
whole
bus, and
thing, windshield wipers and all of that, and we're all singing along in the background. Thank goodness you didn't have to hear us.
Well, I think it's amazing because, the children do see and hear these things on television or on the computer, but it's not the same as being live and just watching them to see their eyes light up and to see how they interact with other people. It's amazing. And the friendships that are made here will last forever, really. They're going to be going to school together. They're going to be going to playgroups together and things. So it's a really wonderful thing. And that's one of the things that have changed. I know the technology has changed a lot. And people think, oh, well, the computer is, the children find everything on the computer, but they still really need an adult to guide them through that. And that's something else I try to show, people when they come in. The iPad isn't just a toy. It's a way another way to engage with your child and discuss things with them and give them new vocabulary. The other day, the little boy, when he was building that snowman on the app, he put a pickle on the snowman's nose, and I said, oh, a pickle on his nose. He goes, or a cucumber. I said, "What? You're right. You're right. It could be a cucumber.
Adults are so dumb.
I know. I'm like, what? It could be a cucumber. So just to see those vocabulary, those little things that they need the adult there to help build that. So it was really wonderful.
Talk about needing the adult there. And there's times when you have your quiet time over at the desk. Folks who are familiar with the Washington Township Library know where to go to find Marie and to find the children's area in the special children's room. This morning, the toddlers were using the community room just because they needed the floor space. But the community or the toddler room, children's room that's off to the side, what age group usually uses that?
Oh, in the children's area? Anywhere from probably like preschool and up. It's a little small to fit everybody for the baby story time. We keep it usually preschool and up. We have a Lego league that meets in there every week, which is basically a Lego free-for-all. We just dump the Legos out and everybody plays together, and they come up with amazing things. And that's children usually kindergarten up, but sometimes a little bit younger, which is
You got a lot of those Legos from donations?
We did. We really appreciate the donations because Legos are really expensive, so it's nice when people donate things. Even all these toys, most of them are donations as well. So
that's excellent. I mean,
things
not that
we
we'd
can
want to
use.
flood you with things, but after a certain phase in the family life, maybe there's a second life for the toys.
Yeah. And even books, because we can use the books. We can either add them to the collection if they're in really great shape, or we can use them for our book sale. So anything like that people want to donate is wonderful as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Programs coming up. What's coming on the horizon?
Well, we're starting our Crafternoons next week, which are Crafternoon. I love the word. It's basically again kindergarten and up, and we bring in. I have craft materials that we're going to be making this week. We're going to do Valentine's hearts for Valentine's Day. With a nice tissue paper and really something pretty. In the future, I hope to make some other holiday type crafts and also just seasonal crafts. Anything to get the children to explore new materials, not just paper, but trying out new paints and new things for the older children to try and be as creative as they like.
Do we sometimes bring in outside performers or educators for the children?
Yes, we do. Right now we have some yoga programs. We have two yoga instructors, I believe, that come in. Actually, I'm sorry, one yoga instructor and one musical instructor that come in and do special programs with the little ones. And then throughout the year we'll have some other entertainers that come in. I hope to get some science performers, where there's some wonderful science performers that make science, that show. I mean, the kids love science anyway. I think it's adults sometimes who are a little bit frightened of it, but the kids love it, and so we have some wonderful performers that do that I hope to get in.
Yeah.
So,
Excellent. Well, you'll have to keep in touch with us. We'll have to come back again sometime and hope that the programs here at the library are a success. Marie, thanks for sitting down with us and talking with us on our remote shoot today. Usually it's up in the studio.
Well, it's such a great location, too.
This is fabulous.
The view is beautiful.
Fabulous,
so,
yeah, it absolutely is. So we want to, again, thank you for joining us. We're very much appreciative of Laura letting us come down, of the library patrons who were gracious enough to let us tape them, and we hope to again see you folks sometime. So I'll say good evening or good afternoon as the case may be. I'm Emily Kratzer. We are recording for WCTV in Washington Township in the 076 Washington Township.
That's right.
And Our thanks to Ricky for being on camera and editing, and the other members of the team who always help out. Take care and see you later.